Welcome to the Saturday edition of The Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined by Mark Olmos. Mark, bit of a different feel as we head to Belmont and looking forward to the new season there.
Yeah, the winter season at Belmont has arrived and really looking forward to it, Adam. Of course, we still have a few feature races to see there this season, but looking forward to the first opening day card.
Well, let's take a look at the conditions that we are going to be faced with. There has been a little bit of rain around Perth, so just keep an eye on the track conditions there as well, but we should be good for Saturday. And the railers at an inside position. We'll learn about the pattern very early on, something definitely to keep an eye on. Mark, let's get straight into race number one.
Yes, Adam, it's the Tab Touch Plate over 1,300 metres. Our replay horse's last start winner, Ruby Amiss.
Were very wayward. Ruby Amiss loomed up very quickly. Epic Grey kicks again, but Ruby Amiss quickly collared him. 2.5 lengths to Monsoon, who's further back. Ruby Amiss down to the 150 clear from Epic Grey. Monsoon down the outside track, the little Hercules Texas Moon, but it's Ruby Amiss drawing clear. Ruby Amiss has won from a wayward Epic Grey.
She was very impressive, this filly by Hinchinbrook, and we know that Simon Miller just knows how to get the best out of the fillies by Hinchinbrook as well. Was checked at the top of straight where Epic Grey just decided to wander off, but I love the way this horse knuckled down again and attacked the line strongly. I think the 1,300 metres is ideal here. The blinkers going on is good. From barrier 10, there's not actually a lot of speed in this race, so she should be able to cross and lead and get into a really nice position. Mark, it's a really open race. I think there's probably 5 or 6 that can win this. What way are you leaning towards in the first?
Adam, I'm leaning towards another Simon Miller runner, Lob City, of course, won its first start back on the 10th of December. I thought that was a really nice effort. And even last start there behind Watch It, I thought it was a nice performance. Was caught 3 wide, still kept finding the line. We saw Metallic Queen came out of that race and hit the line quite well, but with cover and an easier run in the race. I think Lob City out to 1,300 metres will suit Lob City and a lot of other runners, but I think she gets back in the field and will be able to run on. Interesting to see how the day plays though, as we mentioned with the conditions at the top. We're expecting those southeasterlies, which should help those which start down the back straight over the 1,200 metres. Down the sprint course though, shouldn't be any issue. No. Your selections for this one, Adam?
Look, I'm with Ruby Amiss. I really liked that performance that we saw last start, but I think it's a really close race. I mean, Art Series has been in really good form in the last 2, but Lob City has already beaten Art Series. They meet at the same weight differential as they did the last time as well. Texas Moon, another one that attacked the line strongly, which I think will appreciate the 1,300, and one that I was really keen on first up. Not keen as backing for a win, but I mentioned for a place. I couldn't believe the price difference between Under the Arches and also Epic Grey from those trials, and we saw Under the Arches being back from 101 to 61 and finishing 4th, only 2.5 lengths behind Ruby Amiss. So there's a few with a bit of scope here, but I'm going to tip number 2, Ruby Amiss, from number 1, Art Series, 8, throwing in Metallic Queen, and 3, Lob City.
3, Lob City on top for me, from number 5, Texas Moon, 2, Ruby Amiss, and 1, Art Series.
Race number 2 at Ascot, it's over the 1,300 metres, and as we've seen in recent time, Mark, these 3-year-old races have a lot of class in them.
Yes, Adam, and this one's no different as well. We see one stepping out to 1,300 metres. He's 3 from 3. He is the Jeff Noski trained Solorski.
Well back to Snow Lord Humanity last. Crandon led the way from the Ruffy Storm Power. Now Solorski called upon, starts to lengthen. Dainty Tess keeps coming though. G-Boss behind them. Cramden, Solorski, Dainty Tess and Solorski. Solorski finding Dainty Tess keeps coming. Solorski lifting. Solorski.
Really good performance there by Solorski, attacking the line with the 55.5 kilos. No trial, and looked to be carrying just a little bit of extra pudding there in that run as well. The one thing that you always try to do when you're doing the form is not get carried away by height. We know there's a lot about Solorski, so you have to take that all out and actually look at the numbers, your stats, and follow your usual formulas. Now, I did everything possible to try and get this horse beat, and when I've come through, Solorski is still on top for mine. The other reason why I really like is look at the battle with Dainty Tess. Now, we've seen her come out in another strong field last Saturday, carried 59.5 kilos, and still lose to this horse as well. So although going up the 2.5 kilos, I think, and carrying it, going up to 1,300 metres is going to be the biggest bonus, but I just really like this horse in this field, and I think we know it's one on the up. There's no doubt about that. Mark, anything catching your eye?
Yeah, for me, out of number 3, Minus Looks back to Belmont is a big tick. Also, the blinkers going on and coming back down to 1,300 metres. Looking at relative times over 1,200 metres at Ascot between Solorski and Minus Looks. Minus Looks does have the wood over him, and I dare say will have the fitness advantage over him here, coming back down to 1,300 metres. That blinker, the blinkers will sharpen him up as well, so I'm quite keen on him. He had excuses last start behind Ravelli. Of course, the stablemate One Short was in that race as well, but I really like Minus Looks here, and I think the Wolf team could be picking up a full head of steam as we head into Belmont. Adam, anything in the race that can upset the apple cart?
The one that I'm just keeping a very close eye on is number 6, Humanity. Now, it was an absolute dud last start. It was a good first up, start run, although it reads 8 and 9 and beaten 4 lengths by Solorski. He gets a 5 kilo swing here, and they did exactly what they wanted on that occasion. They know they're not a 1,000 metre horse. They drop back and tap the line. Now, last start, sitting outside Rising Sea and couldn't have dropped back any further, been any more disappointing if it tried. But Lindsay Smith, he's very honest in his approach to training and what he says after. And he just mentioned, well, maybe I've been a little bit too light on this guy, and we're going to pick up the work rate. So with a 5 kilo swing on Solorski, a nice barrier and barrier 5 and carrying 53 kilos, this horse has form around Lusaha. Let's not forget that. It might be one just to have a look at if it is at a really big price. But I'm going to go with Solorski from top of the class, then Humanity and Storm Dancer.
I've got number 3 on top here, minus looks from 2 Solorski, 5 top of the class and 4 Storm Dancer.
Race number 3 at Ascot is a 1,000 metre event, a 78 plus, and Mark, we're seeing some class in here with the likes of Mad Asa, Cool Passion, Showy Chloe, and even Sweet Aura.
Yes, indeed, and a very good race is this. A replay will be the Northern Stakes, where First Among Equals won, but Mad Asa was right there in second.
Star coming down with 3.50 to go. Madassa moved up to Potent Secret. First Among Equals is working into the clear, and down the outside is Battle Hero, and Durandel is running on as well. It's Madassa just in front. First Among Equals trying to cut it down. Madassa just in front. First Among Equals going home strongly. Madassa, First Among Equals, head bobber.
Brilliant performance there by Mad Asa on a return from a long break, and I say on any other track other than Northern, it would have won the race. First Among Equals had that opportunity to wind up down that long straight, and we've seen how good those form lines have held up with the run by First Among Equals the other day. Look, this is still a bit of a test mine. It's a race into it. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It's the top two here in the numbers, Mad Asa and Cool Passion. 60 kilos concerns me a little bit. Cool Passion, I think, can hold out Mad Asa as well, but I just really like the form lines. I think this horse has that genuine speed and toughness, and I'm going to go that way, but I know you're going with Cool Passion. I don't think there's a lot between them. Tell us why we should be back in number 2.
Yeah, look, for me, on times again, Cool Passion's times at Belmont certainly trumps Mad Asa's, and Mad Asa does have to carry the 60 kilos with the apprentice on, so a bit of dead weight on there as well, which I think is a concern. Whereas with William Pike on 58 kilos, every bit of that 58 kilos will be pushing out Cool Passion, and I like the draw as well. It's drawn inside of Mad Asa, which is a big positive. Look, I'm still really worried about those Northern Stakes forms. Those are solid forms. They broke a track record which stood for 6 years there at Northern, did First Among Equals, and Mad Asa as well, so you have to respect. You get the feeling that Mad Asa's returned just as good as he left when running 4th in a Winterbottom. So now looking forward to seeing him return at Belmont. Last time he was at Belmont, of course, he beat Scheidel. Scheidel's since gone on to win a Group 1 Oakley Plate. So no, looking forward to seeing these two clash. Adam, which way do you have it?
Look, I'm going to go with Mad Asa, but there is nothing between them. They could run this 10 times and be 5 each. From Cool Passion, the last time it raced, it beat Vegan Magic. That's something to remember as well. I think Showy Chloe is going to be in for a very big prep, and then Sweet Aura.
Adam, I've got number 2 on top here, Cool Passion. From number 1, Mad Asa. Number 8, Sweet Aura, and 9, Woollybar.
Race number 4 at Ascot. It's a 72 plus event. It's over the 1,600 metres mark. A lot of these went head to head last start, and it was Mickey Two Toes that was too good for them.
Yeah, you got the job done. Of course, Astronomite, Red Publisher, and of course the other one there, Military Ruler, was also in that race. Let's have a look at Mickey Two Toes winning.
Here's Mickey Two Toes peeling to the outside, back and behind horses, then Red Publisher. Maginica went to Fath Noxious. Military Ruler got them. Mickey Two Toes, War God down the outside from Red Publisher, but Mickey Two Toes sprints clear with 100 left to go from War God, Military Ruler, then Astronomite on the rail and Red Publisher, but Mickey Two Toes has...
Really good performance by Mickey Two Toes. It was one that going into the box C we actually mentioned I thought could really run a nice race at this. It just looks suited, but I put Mickey Two Toes in the same category as Terra Force. I think now if you back this horse, you've cashed in, now you back out. I think there's a few that get a nice weight swing on it. The race is going to suit a lot more. And the biggest one for mine, and I know that you've got similar thoughts here, is Military Ruler. It's been slow away this prep, gets the apprentice of Fred Kersley on board, loves Belmont. This is where this horse races really well. 14 starts, 4 wins, 7 placings. The track and distance record is very good. It's only finished outside the top 3 on 1 occasion from 5 starts. From barrier 2, I think this horse can actually just cruise to the front and relax compared to last start where he did have to be bustled just to get into a close enough position with the speed of Maginica and these types. Everything for me maps out perfect for Military Ruler.
He's another galloper which will really appreciate getting back to Belmont as well, Military Ruler. But as you said, Adam, he's been sluggish away his first 2 runs, his preparation, which isn't like him. So I'm sure Darren McAuliffe would have addressed that, and he'll be back to the races better than ever. Astronomite's the other one, second up over 1,600 metres. We mentioned it before that first up run behind Mickey Two Toes, that 1,400 metres first up for him. They're obviously preparing for him for a staying preparation. So 1,600 metres second up, I think suits. And William Pike will just go back, smoke the pipe, hope for a bit of speed from Military Ruler and finish off strong.
Well, he gets a 1.5 kilo swing on Mickey Two Toes as well. And when you take a look at the replay, about 200 metres out, looked the clear winner and just sort of peaked on the run, which can be expected first up over the 1,400. I'm with you. I think we'll take a lot of improvement from that, from the barrier. They'll be forced to ride a little bit colder, which I actually think is going to benefit this horse. Should be running on really well, but there's not a lot between a lot of the runners. I've gone with Military Rule. I'm hoping we get an each way price. Red Publisher is due. This horse has got to be knocking on the door. Finally, they get a barrier, Astronomite, and then Terraforce.
Yeah, number 1 Military Ruler on top for me also, Adam. From 3 Astronomite, 4 Red Publisher with the barrier as you mentioned, and number 5 last week's winner Tonka Tough.